Hi everyone, welcome to our lesson 51. My name is Professor Robert, and today we will learn adding and subtracting radical expressions. Radical expressions. Okay, now let's dive into it. Supposing you're given first example, number one, at root 50 plus root 200, and you're asked to add those two radical expressions. Since we are in the business now of finding square roots, given the symbol we have, uh, we can kind of break down or factor 50 into something that can give us a factor that has a number we can find the square root of. In this case, 2 times 25 would really do because we know that we can find the square root of 25. And then we look here also for two factors of 200 that one of them has, or we can find a square root of, that will give us a whole number. So this would be 2 multiplied by 100. Okay, now when we simplify this, we do it by getting numbers out of the root assigned. So, and that number should be one which can get a whole number for an answer. For example, the square root of 25 will be 5. So this expression here becomes um, 5, which is the square root of 25. And what we have remaining in there is 2. So 5 root 2 will be that expression. And now we have to add this expression here. And when you look at this expression here, we have 100, and the square root of 100 is 10. So we have 10 square root of, and what we remain with under the square root is 2. And then finally, we can arithmetically um, add the two expressions. So we have 5 root 2's plus 10 root 2's, which will give us 15. Give us 15 root 2. And that will be our final answer. All right. Now let's look at a second example, which is a little bit more complex, but still it follows the same procedures. So we can look at number 2, example number 2, which says 3z to the fifth root of 64z minus 2 to the fifth root of 2z to the power 6. Now, here we're not only talking about square root, but we are talking about the fifth root. So we have to be very, very, very careful. Now, of course, we have already our 3z at the end when by looking at this first part. We already have our 3z outside of the root. So we can just write 3z and then look at what we have inside the square root. We have 64. Now, you realize that 64 is 2 to the power 6, or rather 2 multiplied by itself 6 times. So we can actually remove a 2 to the power 5. We will find the fifth root of um, 64 from 64, which would be 2 to the power 5, and that would be 32. So when we bring out the 2, we have to multiply it here. 2 times 3. And we'll remain here with 2 because this 64 is 2 to the power 6. So we'll take out the 2 to the power 5, which will be 2 here, and we remain with the 2z here. And then here again, we come to minus 2, and we try to find out what we have. Sorry, that's to the fifth root. Yeah. Now, 2 really can't be, we can't find the fifth root of 2. That's a whole number. No, that's not there. So that 2 remains there. But we have z to the power 6. So we can actually remove z to the power 5, find the fifth root of that to give us a z that we put outside of the root sign. And we'll remain with a z here. So here we now have a similar expression like what we had here in the first example. We have 2 times 3z multiplied by 2z to the power to the root 5. And this is 2z multiplied by 2z to the fifth root. So this becomes 6z to the power 5, 2z minus 2z into 2z to the fifth power. So the root signs are the same. So we can say we have 6z minus 2z's, which will give us 4z root 2z to the power 5. And that gives us our final answer. Now, if this lesson helped you, don't forget to like, share with anyone you think needs it, and please subscribe for more algebra made simple. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now.